Welcome guys to another episode of The Biz Hour, where we keep you educated, motivated and inspired. On today's episode, we'll be having a Zoom interview with a productivity coach who will be discussing about time management. We'll go on a short break, and when we get back, we are going to go straight into the business of the day.
Hi, my name is Precious Okon. I'm a petroleum engineer and a productivity coach. I'm the founder of the Maximizing Chronos company, where I help multi-passionate students to leverage their most valuable asset, which is time. Yeah.
So what made you interested in productivity coaching?
Being a productivity coach, that was definitely a God-given vision. Yes, it was something I definitely observed I had acumen in, but then I got the releasing spirit to eventually do it as a thing. So while I was in school, I had to juggle a lot of responsibilities, and having to juggle all of those, I definitely had to improve my time management skills. So for context, I was fellowship president, a student ambassador. I also was president of Society of Petroleum Engineers and a number of other bodies. So, and I still had to do well in my studies, right? Because that was the primary reason why I was there. And just being able to juggle all of that and still coming out with the 5.0, I observed that, okay, I definitely had this skill and it was something that I could use and give to others. And then, of course, with the releasing spirits and joining all of that together, that was how I went into becoming a productivity coach.
What does productivity means to you?
For me, I believe that productivity comes from the place of purpose. And what I mean by that is, productivity is more about doing the things that are fulfilling for you. They come from a place of fulfillment. So in expending your energy on doing the more fulfilling tasks, then you actually begin to feel more productive. I don't know, like if you've ever been in a situation where you are like, you've just been busy, you've just been occupied doing so many things, but none of them is really anything you particularly value. And so by having to do all of them, you're just frustrated in a sense, because you're seeing that your time is going, you're seeing that you're expending a lot of energy, but it's not on anything that's really fulfilling, that's really dear to your heart. And so yeah, you don't feel so productive despite how busy you've been. So for me, productivity comes from a place of purpose, because when you get to do those more fulfilling tasks first, they then begin to become your driver, your propeller for other things that you need to do, the less important tasks or things that are not as dear to your heart as those things. So yeah.
How can Gen Z strike a balance with school, social and personal responsibilities, especially you that graduated with a 5.0 in petroleum and gas engineering?
So a key part of productivity I feel like a lot of people don't think about or don't still understand is the aspect of the mindset. Like, there's the part of the mind that comes to play when it comes to productivity, and that's the productivity mindset. So for me, there are three key elements of the productivity mindset, and they are discipline, integrity and resilience. And these all have applications in different contexts in life, but in the context of productivity, for example, resilience is one that's very, very important. And resilience speaks to the ability to be able to bounce back when things don't go according to plan. So maybe you plan to do something that doesn't work out at the time you said to do it. You're able to bounce back from that and, move on, go do what, and just move on. So, I mean, with social media, it's something that happens all the time where, you catch yourself doom scrolling, you're just stuck there, just going. But when that happens, so personally, when that happens, I just try to catch myself and I see that, okay, yeah, I'm doom scrolling and that's what's going on, right? So recognize that this is going on. One of the things I do is I set a time. I'm like, okay, I'm going to drop my phone at this time. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't work out. The times it works out, yeah, glory to God, I move on and do things I'm supposed to do. The times it doesn't work out, I recognize that, oh, okay, it didn't happen. And yeah, it has happened that I've ended up spending this time on social media and I move on from it. So I bounce back and I move on to do other things that I plan to do. next, rather than being upset, staying there, because there's only so much that you're wailing and crying and beating yourself up is going to do. You just need to pick yourself up and move on again, right? So, and this context, like this key thing of resilience, applies in several contexts of life. So even, like in living your life and everything, in salvation, you can mess up. You're not too far gone for Jesus to save you, right? So you're able to bounce back, pick yourself up, and move in the way. So same thing for time management. Like, you're not too far gone for you to be brought back, for you to pick yourself up and get into the things that you're supposed to do.
Do you think technology plays a big role in either hindering or improving time management?
Yeah, so you have to ensure you leverage automations. Automations are like a personal assistant, and you have to take them, make the most of them. They're so helpful. It's a no-brainer working with automations when it comes to things that you want to do. So yeah, try to use automations, alarms, calendars, schedule, reminders. They really come in handy. You can get an app for your productivity, but yeah, make use of automations. They are such a lifesaver.
Are there some routines we can use to improve the way we manage our time?
With scheduling, one of the major problems I've observed over time is people thinking that just because they've made a schedule, that's the end of it. But it doesn't work that way. When you create a schedule, you then need to regularly review it. You can do this on a weekly basis, bi-weekly basis, monthly basis. Because the thing is, as you're going through the days, you're going to be experiencing new things that are going to be taken from you. So maybe a new activity that can come up, something new that's taken from your time. So when you regularly review the schedule that you've built, you're then able to move things around. Okay, this works for this place it was at, this doesn't work anymore, so we can shift this and put this there. There has to be that regular review of your schedule. It's not a one-off, right? It's not a one-off. So yeah. Okay, so before we talk about techniques, it's one of the first things that I always say when it comes to, being in control of your time, or just, attacking your activities properly, is first being clear on your why. So when you're clear on the why behind anything that you're doing, it gives you more vigor. It serves as your propeller to do the things that you say you want to do, because you're clear on your why. So it draws from you, it gives you that it serves as your booster, your propeller to actually do the thing. So now when you're clear on your why, you can then go into techniques. So the techniques are somewhat common. One of them includes time blocking. So personally, I believe that any goal that's not bound by time is as good as a wish. So you have to ensure that you are clear on start times, end times for things that you want to do. And whilst the time blocks can seem somewhat rigid, can seem like, a fixed structure, but you must understand that the time blocks, they serve as a guide, right? They serve as a guide. There's still room for flexibility despite having that basic structure. So when you have this guide, when you have this structure, then you're able to walk around it. So it's better that you have a structure to fall back on than for the day to just catch you off guard, and then you have to approach everything from a place of randomness. So it's just based on what comes at you, and not really about what is happening per time, or things that you've also set to do within a time frame. So yeah, time blocking things, they're usually from the place of purpose, like I mentioned. So for me, I'm a Christian, and as a Christian, that definitely influences everything I do. So there's specifics as to what God will have you do. So there's the general purpose that we have, to know Christ, make him known. And then there's specifics like the assignments and direct things that he said you should do. So in being able to work on those things that are more fulfilling, they then propel you and give you the energy to do the things that are less important. So yeah.
What advice would you give to those who think that time management is not necessary?
It's unfortunate that there could be people that think that time management isn't important. I'm finding it difficult to wrap my head around that, but hey, if for some reason there's anyone like that, it's important for you to realize that it's so important that you realize that time management is essential, right? It's important that you realize that it's important that you manage your time adequately. So the thing is, you must reckon your time valuable. You must reckon it the limited valuable resource that it is, because that is what it is, a limited and valuable resource. So especially if you're like a believer, right, you're working with a different sense of urgency. You understand that you have limited time to get people to know Jesus. That's one. But in addition, you have limited time to finish the assignment that God has given you to do. So I mean, if you reckon time valuable, you reckon time important, then you have to be intentional in how you use it. And for me, I don't think of it as management. I just think of it as adequate use of time, because that's really the only way it's supposed to be used, right? Time is important. Time is valuable. Time, you just have to use your time right, right? So if for some reason there's anyone here who thinks, or anyone listening to this or will listen to this in the future, who thinks that using their time adequately or managing their time is not important, please, I'm here to dissuade you from that. Please just know that you need to use your time adequately, use your time rightly. It's so important. It's so important. It's a limited resource. It's valuable, and you just have to use it. You just have to use it. Use it right. Use it right.